Here's Stephanie Castillo on her mother's journey in strange land.
All through our childhood, all through our growing up, we girls, there's 7 of us girls, would hear these stories of my mom meeting my dad in the Philippines. He was a Hawaii boy from Kauai, and she was a young woman living in Manila. She would talk about her, living under the Japanese occupation and the war years. It had this larger background. It had this larger backdrop of World War II. It had the even larger backdrop, I feel, of the war bride story. 500,000 war brides from 50 different countries came to America because they had met and married American GIs. I set my mom's story in that context, the story of the War Brides Act and these women being able to come to America because of the lifting of immigration restrictions. And then I get to the microcosm, to the personal, intimate story of my mom.
When he had his orders to go home to Hawaii, he asked me in front of my mother, if I come back from Hawaii, will you say yes? I propose to you. I said, when you come back, we'll see when you come back. I'm not gonna say yes now. And you're going on a faraway land. So he said, yeah, I'll come back. So he told my mom he intends to come back and he would like to, ask for my hand. Right there, he wants my mom to say yes or no.
Working with Mom was really fun and interesting. I wanted to get her in a relaxed situation, so I determined that wherever the interview took place, it would be kind of in a natural setting without a setup. So I let her lay on her bed with her pillows around her and her arm propped up on her arm, and just talking casually, and it really lent itself to a very natural, honest and frank conversation that she had with me. I was just kind of holding my camera below, and she was actually looking into the camera because she was looking directly at me. So this establishes a really intimate feeling with the audience, which I think helps the film break that wall. But there was one question that I asked her, and it's probably the funniest moment in the film. She's explaining why she looks so sad during her wedding day. And I'd never asked her that question before, and she tells me the answer, and it's just very, very funny.
He had his military driver pick me up, but then my good friend of my mother needed a ride, so we had to pick her up. We would delay about maybe 30 minutes. We were not late for the wedding, but he's waiting there. I thought he had that feeling of being abandoned, or I took off from him because I didn't get there as scheduled. He didn't like the idea that I went to pick her up. When somebody's angry at me, I get upset too. I didn't expect that he would have such a temper. So that made me feel a little uncomfortable. At that moment, I can't smile, cannot fake it, After the wedding, we ended up back at home, and he noticed that I wasn't, myself. I wasn't happy about it. Yeah, we took the picture, and that's my picture. The way I look at it is just like, oh, okay, I'm here, I'm stuck, I can't get it out already, I regretted that I didn't wait.
I had to rely on photographs for this documentary primarily. There is some footage in there, but in terms of the family story, I had to rely on photographs, and I'm just so grateful that my mom and my dad had such a great collection of photographs, and that's really what saves the film for me. What I tried to do was to follow the story arc of my mom's war bride story. I really narrowed it down to that and followed the story arc. So it really is a full and complete story in and of itself, even though it doesn't tell the whole story of my mother's life. It tells the story of being a war bride and how she got through that. Well, we premiered the documentary at the Hawaii International Film Festival this year, and it was to a sellout crowd. A lot of people came up to her and to me and told me how much they appreciated it. People love this story. There's something that I tapped into that was very universal about triumph, about transformation, about making the best of a bad situation, of coming through on the other side, And I think that really holds people to know, to ask, how's she going to do this? How's she going to get out of this? And in the end, find out that she really was able to find and make peace with her destiny.